That's gonna be nice for just.
Yeah. Let's have our true priorities here.
Yeah.
So,
Are we doing all of them?
what's that?
Are we doing all of them?
Just that first, the very first one, the one that says warm up, like that one big long one. See if you guys.
I cracked the code.
I'm supposed to bring them together with me every single. I forgot it.
I keep forgetting to drink water with a
I
mask.
feel like in.
Yeah.
You guys do.
I always feel like people are like judging me and I'm drinking water, but like I don't care.
You should drink
I think
water.
just
I
like
keep forgetting.
it to my
And I keep
Yeah.
getting to it. I can't remember. I don't realize why.
Actually, that's for the people with glasses.
Really?
Yes, I do.
Thanks for giving me the sympathy.
I stopped smoking.
Okay. So guys, what did you guys get for an answer for this first warm-up question? I've seen like 3 different answers. I've looked over a few shoulders. What did you guys get? Yeah. We got 10. I'm gonna write them over here. What'd you get?
12.
12. That took you out of the running here. What else? I thought I saw other answers. I thought I saw
0.
0. I thought I saw something else.
Okay.
Yeah. 18.
Why are you laughing at me?
I don't actually remember the answer. My answer key is back there right now, so I'm trying to like not know the answer. Anyone have something different? All right. So the reason I love math is because it's not like English where you can say all these answers are probably okay if you explain yourself. Like there's only one right answer for math, and so I don't have to say I marked that question wrong because of this reason. I mean, it's right or wrong. There's not a gray area like this. So there is a right answer up there.
Hi, it's mine.
Okay. How do we know how to get to the right answer? What rules did someone give us at some point? PEMDAS. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally or some sort of form with that. That is the rules that gives us the directions to get to this answer. So it's not whatever way we want to go about doing it or however you thought would be the quickest or easiest. We use PEMDAS to get to the right answer. So just like if I gave you guys directions to my house, you're not just going to say, I'm going to turn right and then left, even though she said left and then right. Like my son had to open his first combination lock this morning in 6th grade. And right before he left, I said, what's the order that you turn your numbers? Because I was really nervous that he'd turn it the wrong way and like not open it. So the order you do something in matters. Same thing as it goes here. So parentheses, we have to do first. So what are we doing first? Okay, go on, right?
Multiplying all the numbers in parentheses by 2.
I would not do, because that would be multiplying before you do the parentheses. No, it's okay. Yeah.
Just 6 times.
Yeah, so we're doing what's inside the parentheses first. Now, from time to time, what Ryan would do would work in some cases. I don't think it works here, but it might. I can't remember what you said your answer was. I think you feel like it's possible something might work. It might be just a coincidence, though. So inside this parentheses, I say 6 divided by 3 minus 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2, minus 2 is 0. I was kind of surprised I didn't get an answer of 0 from anyone.
Hi.
Oh, we did get 0. Oh, we did. Okay. So you see times by 0, that's everything becomes 0. No, not quite. So, so 0 is not it. So parentheses are done. The E is for exponents. So exponents are next. So I'm going to do this. These are being multiplied together, right? So I took the parentheses out and made a multiplication. What's next? We did E. Does anyone know why I write the M and D on the same line? There's a reason I write it that way. Not just a safe space, yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do first.
Right, well, it kind of does matter, but it's not necessarily because one's on the left or one's on the right. you kind of do them, or that is what you have to do. So you don't do like division before multiplication or multiplication before division. It just depends which way we go this way. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. Right?
Yep.
For a second I was like, that doesn't sound right. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 times 0, there's our 0. And now, same thing with addition and subtraction, you just do that left to right. So I'm going to do 18 minus 6 is 12, plus 0 is 12. And those of you guys who got the other answers, and I saw a few others, I wasn't going to call you out on your wrong answers, but if you got something different, try to figure out where you went wrong. And so the order of operations takes us the directions to get to the right place. We don't want to end up at somebody else's house knocking on the door. In this day and age, that could be dangerous. You smart. Okay. So, there's your goal there in case you're wondering what we're going to learn for today. There's a whole spiel. If your parents are like, what'd you learn in school today? You can say, well, I learned to simplify algebraic equations. So every day, as a teacher, I have to put that up in a few different places. So if anyone ever asks, there it is. You can sound really smart. So,
I already am.
well, right. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
All right. So now again, I hope that you guys look at this stuff today, and once we kind of jog your memory a little bit, you're gonna be like, wow, this stuff is pretty straightforward, not too difficult. I hope. If it is, that's okay too. That's why we're reviewing it. I didn't walk in here and say we're gonna take the chapter 1 test today. So this stuff I kind of anticipate you guys know, but it's not a bad review on the first day of school. I mean, why not kind of shake off the cobwebs, and because it's really probably been a couple of years since most of you guys have done like straight algebra. So, evaluating expressions. I'm a big step person, so like, what steps do we need to do in these problems? So in this case, to evaluate expressions, I have to take all those values and put them in, right? So I have to substitute those values into the equation to begin with. That's gonna be my step 1. We can do that. And then once we do that, then it becomes a problem like the warm-up. Then we're going to follow the order of operations. Now, problems won't say, well, maybe in some books, it won't say, hey, you should use the order of operations here. Math kind of assumes order of operations. So just assume that if you're doing math problems, you should be following the order of operations. So we're going to substitute these in and evaluate them here as we go. I'm going to probably ask a couple of you guys to come up. So if you guys want to work through some of these. If you don't know how to do one of them or getting stuck, or I'm sure you try these here though, I give you values for the variables. So you're going to substitute those in. And then evaluate those. Feel free to use a calculator if you'd like. You don't have to, I don't think. I guess the E gets a little weird, but it only shows up in one of them. Yeah, but I would think of it as x negative and then 2 negatives. I wouldn't just, I guess you distribute that in the positive too. And just maybe -5 minus 3 is -8. Yeah, you have the right answer. Does anyone want to put theirs up if they showed a little bit of work? Here, Brian. Like to see a little work. Careful with the cord up there. The cord situation is not ideal. Need a couple more volunteers if anyone's interested. Perfect, thank you. Anybody else? Brian did a great job of substituting it in there, showing his work. I like they showed that double negative, that changes to a +5. Anybody else? I don't want to make anyone volunteer the first day of school. It seems cruel. Yes, go ahead. Come on. Neither of them. You guys agree with that? Is that good? That looks good, doesn't it? Grab my answer. Yeah, it looks good to me. I'll work through the middle one here. So 2 times C, so 2 times 7. I like using parentheses when I substitute in. It looks like a lot of you guys do that as well. Minus, A is -5, minus 3. So this is 14 minus, this is a -8. So 14 plus 8. We end up with 22 there. So lots of places to make a little mistake, and then your signs can get flipped or something weird happens and it doesn't quite work out the way you expect. So that's what we're trying to avoid here. So evaluate expressions. So if you guys notice, we go through a couple sections today in our book, and that's because I think both of these sections are things that, I mean, I've taught these here through algebra, and I'm pretty confident that these sections are not like really tough sections for you guys. But again, if anything is struggle, stop in, check in with me, make sure you guys are feeling like you can ask for help. So I want to just find the word what a coefficient is, because we use coefficients all the time in algebra, and then we use that word a lot. So, for example, if I use this as an example, like 4c to the second power, what's the coefficient? Where's the coefficient? It's not a word you probably use maybe since last year, if that ever. What's the coefficient? Yeah, Paige? What's that? Sorry. Yeah. I thought that's what you said, it was muffled, like nervous. So the 4 is the coefficient in this case. And the reason we use that word a lot is because a lot of times that's the one we're working with. So The 4 is the coefficient, so it's the number multiplied to a variable. So, so that would mean C would be the variable, and then 2 would be considered the exponent. The value multiplied to the variable. And I just want to make sure we define them because we are going to use the word coefficient in our next definition. So I didn't want to say like, hey, this is the coefficient. You don't know what that is. Oops, sorry.
Huh?
I see her taking storms here. Huh?
Are we supposed to?
I don't know. It looks like it just looks dark. I don't think we are. Get caught in a storm when we're outside. All right. So, okay. So we're going to combine like terms. And a lot of times in math, all they'll say, they won't say combine like terms, they'll just say simplify. So on problems like these here, they might just say simplifying. What they really mean by that is combine like terms. So like I'm going to combine like terms in example 1 and example 2 here. And the like terms, how would you explain that to someone who doesn't know what a like term is? You know. You don't know, then you wouldn't be able to explain it. But what's a like term? So like in example 1, what are examples of like terms? Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
17A and
17A and 4A. So the ones that have the same variable. I'm going to wait to say the rest of this. How about down here in example 2? Are these all like terms because they all have the same variable? They also need the same exponent. So the same variable and the same exponent. And when you're trying to combine the like terms, so if 17A and 4A, we're going to add or subtract their coefficients. Those numbers in the front. So we're going to add and subtract the coefficients. 17A and 4A, we're going to put those together. 17 and 4 is going to be 21A. And then the 9 minus 3 are like terms. So that's going to be a positive 6. Yep, so plus 6. Whereas on this one, we get to again combine the ones that have the same variable and the same exponent. So the c squared are like terms. So the 12c squared minus 8c squared is how much? 4c squared. And then 5c and c, 6. Where do you get the extra one from? What's not written there that we need to?
The 1.
There's like a little 1 here. So 5c and 1c is going to be 6c. So this is as combined as that problem can get. That's as simple as it can get. We can't do anything else with it right now. We don't need to do anything crazy like factoring it or anything like that. We just leave it that way. All right, so I'm going to give us a break. So we are going to head outside in a minute. While we're out there, we're going to do a little get to know you game because why not? Together in first day of school. So.
I lost my keys.
Or what? I stole it. I found it at my house.
Really? You stole it?
No,
I mean, I went to I can't find it in.
I didn't actually find it. Kenzie, they're really white. It's bringing out your pan today.
Okay. All right, so the paper
I do
is just
have-
scratch paper, so the back side doesn't matter, so don't let that.
I hear what you said. You're talking. What'd you say? Sorry, can you repeat what you just said?
Oh, yeah. The backside of the paper is just blank, so
Oh.
sorry, I'm gonna stop recording here for a second and start up in a minute.
I thought that was live. I don't know why.
We had a